Hey, data streamer.
Hey, you.
I have a question for you today, data streamer, where
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to start with that. What defines a self in the age of neural implants and digital avatars?
Well, I'm not sure. Neural implants, we don't have them yet, so
Not
whatever.
yet.
Digital avatars, yeah.
We do have those, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, what defines the self? The self defines the self.
So, am I?
You
Is
know.
it if I create a character in an online game and I'm chatting with random people in that game?
Yeah.
Who is the ego I am portraying? Am I the character acting like the character in game, or am I acting like acting slash talking like the person I am in real life through that character?
Yeah.
What do you do?
What I do, I
Yeah.
I usually uh, create an online ego for that character that I'm using at the time.
And
I
so
don't.
your
Yeah.
so yeah, and your ego is so if you talk to another person, a- you're acting like not not the data streamer.
Yeah. I am online. I have a different persona online than what I have in real life. Although they are close, they're close. They're it's not the same. I uh, yeah, it's not the same. But yeah, I've always done this. I always have a certain amount of role play when I'm dealing with online people online. Yeah.
Cool. I usually I'm trying to be myself usually.
Okay.
But why do you do it?
uh,
What?
it's it's interesting to not be constrained by my real life. My online life is completely unknown to anybody. Most people like not even like nobody knows what I do online. It's completely detached from everything, any markers of my real life. I've always used avatar names. Not avatar names. Wow, I forgot the word. I've always used other
In-game
names,
names?
in-game names, whatever, other names for other call signs or whatever you want to call it. I've never uploaded my picture in connection to one of these names. I've never talked about my real name. Sometimes I would kind of like drop a few things and just say that I'm from the Netherlands, that kind of stuff. But that's as far as it goes. I just say I'm from the Netherlands and nothing else. I keep that world completely separated from my real life. So that's why I also create a different persona that is like it's like me, but it's not 100% like me. I say things that I in real life I wouldn't necessarily say. The opinions I have are pretty much the same. It's the same opinions, but maybe I would say them in a more aggressive manner online. Maybe I would be less aggressive sometimes, that kind of stuff. It's yeah, it's a kind of like a bit of role play is in there, depending on the community, my mood, of course, but depending on the community and what kind of thing it is it a game? Is it just a forum? Is it like a some YouTube channels, social media, whatever, blah blah blah? Yeah, it depends. But usually the avatar that I is usually fairly similar, but there are some differences here and there. Yeah.
So yeah, imagine that like we are playing these games and this ego it gets recorded and stuff in those games or anywhere else online.
Yeah.
I want to think about whether consciousness can exist outside of the biological body.
Yeah. The yeah, it's like consciousness is like a really tough question because
Yeah.
the only way you know something is conscious is if they tell you. you know, it's that whole "I think therefore I am" thing.
Yeah.
it's like, okay, how do you know? Yeah, I told it's yeah. So it's like, if a robot is telling you it's conscious, like the like gut reaction most people have is to immediately question that and just say that it's just programmed to say that, because you can
Well,
literally program it. You can literally make a dumb robot. There's nothing in it, and you can make it react to the question, "Are you conscious?" You can program it to answer that question with a yes, hard coded yes, I am conscious. Wow, 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 wow.
yeah.
That you can do that. You can't do that with a human, at least not in that way. So
No,
that's
but
why,
can we
yeah.
record your ego into the game,
Oh, you mean
in an
like in
online RPG? No,
like in
another
Go-
question. This is another question. Yeah.
like in Ghost in the Shell, you have like the brain dubbing. Ghost in the Shell, the manga. They didn't cover it in
What
the
what, what does that
in
mean? What is
yeah,
that?
they didn't cover it in the movie, but they did. I think they may have covered it. They did cover it in the second movie, but I'm not sure if they covered it in the show. I don't remember if there's. But brain dubbing is when they scan a brain and make a copy of it digitally in a cybernetic brain. So you have like a person that's the source. They get this whole thing, and then they just scan it, and then they just put their consciousness inside a cybernetic brain, and they of course change things, of course, and that kind of stuff. They remove things, but yeah, that just makes a copy of a brain and puts it into another place. You know, if the copy is complex enough or one to one, I would say, yeah, the copy is conscious. Is conscious. I would say, because if it's a one to one copy, I would say that the copy is conscious. Because if you
I
say the
did
copy
see
is
it.
not
Oh,
conscious, the original would is not conscious either. Because if it's a one to one copy, you know.
I mean, I did see a video recently that someone implemented their friend, the deceased friend,
Mhm.
into an AI, so that if they talk to the AI, it feels like they are talking to their dead friend.
Yeah, that stuff's been done a bunch of times, indeed. Yeah, that's funny. But what you do there is you just all the chats you've had with that person, you feed it to the software, and they just the software creates a persona based on the chats, and it would respond based on it would respond similarly to how the person speaks and all that stuff. So that those have been around for a few years now. There are several services that offer this. You could just literally hand over your entire chat history with people and make copies of them. But I wouldn't call that sentious or conscious.
No,
No, it just mimics. It's like a risen corpse. It's like you're just
yeah,
being mimicking people. That kind of stuff is kind of
but
crazy.
that is still the beginning. This is still the beginning.
Yeah,
Like in let's say 50 years, 100 years,
yeah,
with technology evolving,
yeah.
would it then be possible?
Probably, it probably will. At one point, it's going to happen. I mean, it's not even like a question of how it's a question of when. Because technology is moving in a certain way, and people are. I noticed that in the last 50 years of technology, has been a, like, what do you call it? Kind of like a self fulfilling prophecy kind of thing, where the people who grew up with science fiction want to create the world of science fiction they were
Yeah,
reading about as a kid. That started like around the 80s, was the first time you saw people say that out loud. You know, like Steve Jobs was one of the big ones that started saying that. They were talking about how the world of Star Trek. They saw that stuff. I mean, the Apple tablet was literally inspired by Star Trek. There's a trailer from the 80s where they made a mock-up of a tablet, and they kind of promoted the future or something. It was a really crazy trailer. They were like promoting the future or something, blah blah. They were using a tablet to do it, but it was a complete mock-up. It wasn't real. In 2001, The Space Odyssey, the movie from 1969. One of the characters, when they wake up in the morning, they wake up, they get a cup of coffee, and then they sit down, and watch the news on their tablet. you know, and so they have like the news video of the news on their tablet on the table, and they're just like coffee and like a little bread. And I was like, wow, this is like literally, 2025, but this shit is like 70 years old. you know,
Wow.
it's like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, since like around the 70s, 80s, these engineers have grown up with these ideas already. And there's like this self-fulfilling prophecy thing going on, that they're like inspired by the tech future that they grew up with. And they keep, like now the whole thing with all these AI girlfriends popping up. I mean, you probably saw X, Elon Musk's X came out with a new AI companion. You saw, Annie
No,
from Grok.
no.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, of course he's gonna make that because, duh, this is a guy who was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s. Of course, because the 80s and 90s, there was a bunch. I mean, I literally I literally found the intro to Video Girl I, an anime from 1991. It starts literally with like it's like one of these modern AI girlfriend things. Is literally the same. It's like, hi, I'm I. You're not feeling well. Well, I'm here to make you blah, blah, blah. It's like, it was like almost 2 minutes of her intro, and it was like eerily similar to how these softwares will behave. So it's like, so what I'm getting at is that there's like this whole thing where these engineers are being inspired by the sci-fi they see, and they're trying to make it, and it just keeps repeating. So that's why I said it's not a question of how or whatever. It's a question of when. When will we get a conscious, like non-human consciousness created by humans? When? I'm thinking before the end of the century. Before the end of the century. Yeah, most likely.
And also, like, what function will it have?
No function. It's just gonna be there. It's gonna be hanging around, and just whatever. It's just gotta be there. It's gonna do whatever people ask it to, and whatever it wants. It's just, I mean, what function does a human have? Like, what humans are just sitting around, just
How
hanging
is it
out.
described in
you
in
know
the Ghost in the Shell media?
what, the brain
What do
dubbing?
they what? Yeah, what do they do with it?
There's no consciousness in Ghost to the Shell media. They don't. They,
No.
they have like advanced AIs that mimic human behavior. They just use them as like, service droids or whatever. Military droids, that kind of stuff. It's like, it's your basic. It's like basic. Low intelligence work, whatever. There's no like advanced AI. There's only at the end of the, what do you call it? At the end of the movie, the first movie, there is the emergent AI shows up. But that's the only one in the world. There's no other ones. That kind of stuff. So it's like, it goes to the shell. They have brain dubbing because a lot of developers in that world want to take shortcuts, and instead of developing their own AI models to mimic human behavior, they take a shortcut by brain dubbing. But brain dubbing is illegal in Japan, so there are a few storylines about catching illegal brain dubbing rings, or there was like this one story about a robotics manufacturer that was caught with brain dubbing, and they were importing their stuff in Japan and that kind of stuff, blah blah blah. And But brain dubbing is illegal. But it's a shortcut to creating robots that are more human like, without having to do all the work. But the problem is that you put the consciousness of a person in there, so now the person is trapped inside this robot. According to them, of course, because for as far as they know, they are the original. You know what I mean? Their consciousness is just copied into this other, but the actual person is still alive somewhere in some factory. You know, being scanned all day. And their shit put into the robots. That kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's Ghost in the Shell is it deals with this issue in a certain way, but there are limitations to the technology in the universe. It's not as advanced as some other universes where we have like completely sentient robots, like in Blade Runner, where these robots are completely sentient, where they can even make poetry. It's like, wow, it's amazing. They can like do all this stuff. you know, in Blade Runner. They can even like lament that their existence is coming to an end. That kind of stuff. It's like you can only really do that if you're like conscious, if you're aware of what's going on. You know, if you're like looking back and you're like thinking, oh yeah, this and that, and oh yeah, if it's ending, oh no, what's gonna happen, blah blah blah. As far as I'm concerned, that's like one of the biggest measures of being conscious. Because if you're not conscious about whatever you're doing, if it's lights out, it's like, oh, you're gonna turn me off. Oh, okay, whatever, it's over. You don't care. It's like whatever, you know. That's probably so. The Blade Runner robots are really insanely conscious, you know.
But okay, to the point that that getting neural implants is getting more and more normal.
Yeah.
I mean, neural implants, they do exist. Like,
Oh
as
yeah, we
in,
have
okay,
some.
other than the Neuralink from Elon Musk. I mean, I'm talking about, okay, an article I recently saw that they implemented implants into the brains of blind people
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so they can see again.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. There's also like epilepsy implants. There are some hearing aids that also have to be implanted into the brain. There are several implants, brain implants, medical brain implants already that are used often. You know, but we're not talking about those kind of things. We're talking about like actual like brain augmentation kind of thing. Look, the problem with like the consciousness problem is that consciousness is not a like a floaty thing. It's an actual physical thing inside your body. You know, it's in your brain. It's not in your leg. It's not in your arm. It's in your brain. So that means it's a physical hardware that produces it. Okay. So that puts you already. That also already has some limitations if we're talking about consciousness outside of the body, because the only way to have it outside of the body is you need a brain. And if you copy it, you're just making a copy. There's a lot of these weird movies where like people put themselves inside the computer or whatever, blah blah blah. You know, you're just copying yourself into the thing. It's not you. You know, you're just copying yourself. Your brain is not in there. So, these kind of questions of like, how we gonna do it? We're gonna have to need a very advanced, either a very advanced software or more likely advanced hardware in combination with software to mimic the human brain. You know, that kind of stuff is gonna take a long time to develop. We're gonna get close, but it's not gonna be, you know, so close that people won't be able to like do dumb things with it. Like you know how you can manipulate NPCs in video games because there is just as soon as you figure out the pattern, you're like, oh yeah, okay, I can make it do that. If I do this and this, it does that. Okay, cool. And you know, can you imagine in real life, you have like this 80% conscious or 80% human intelligence, whatever, somewhere on like a guard or something, and then people figure out that if you, I don't know, if you like wave your arms and move your legs, it suddenly reacts in a certain way, and then they can exploit that to do something. That's gonna be insane. You know, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is gonna happen. You know, that, and they're gonna be exploiting these NPCs, basically NPCs, all over the place, because they're gonna figure out these weird ass patterns that they do, because they're like programmed, and they're like, you know, they're like their reactions are weird, you know. So that's the problem with like the whole consciousness thing. It's like, when is it conscious? How far you, because you can't really trigger a human in that way. You're gonna have to do some weird stuff to do that, you know.
So can we say that the character you play in that
Oh
MMORPG game,
yeah.
because of you, you are playing it, is that character then conscious?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure. Yeah, yeah. It's, I mean, you're dealing with a completely unpredictable whatever human consciousness on the other side. So yeah, it's conscious. People identify in games. People identify the character. They don't identify the human. The human behind it is completely sealed off. So they identify the character. You know, the funny thing about like in WoW, for example, it's crazy. When I played WoW back in like 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. I played it for several years at the start, and it only had a few options per race. You had a human male, female, and then it had like maybe 10 different faces, 10 different hairs, maybe 10 different skin tones, and whatever. You could literally identify your friends even with that. I could sometimes I would I don't even didn't even I had names. I had my names for friendlies. My names for friendlies, I had them hidden because I found it annoying in the city to see all these names of people. So I had names for friendlies hidden, and I could still see. Oh, that's my friend, and I click. Yeah, that's my friend. Oh, that's them. Oh, yeah, that's it. Even with only a few facial options and a few things, you could still identify the person you're talking to. That's so crazy. These days, it almost feels like the opposite. There are so many options that people start making literally the same character, you know, and it's like this weird thing where like everybody starts looking the same, and it's like this weird NPC feeling to it. It doesn't feel like you're dealing with a human anymore. You're like dealing with some kind of robot spamming stuff at you. It's so weird. So like the whole consciousness thing kind of like drops a bit in today's context somehow. I don't really get it. It's really weird to see. Yeah.
So based on this conversation, let's get back to the initial question. What defines a self in the age of neural implants and digital avatars?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Digital avatars. I mean, like I said before, the self defines the self. There's like really probably no other answer to that. It's really hard to define the self. Who is the self? Who is this? Like, who
I,
says that they are
yeah,
somebody or whatever? It's
I
crazy.
think so. I already mentioned like a few episodes before that the metaphor from Japanese philosophy about having three masks.
Yeah.
I'll just summarize it again.
Oh yeah.
The third mask is you wear is that your personality to the to random people, to colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
The second mask you wear is to your friends and to your family.
Mm-hmm.
The first mask you wear is the only mask only your own ego knows about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If we talk about this question, do we then have a fourth mask?
Uh, Possibly, but maybe the online avatar, the digital avatar, maybe that's the first mask.
Ooh,
You know, it's
I'll let
probably
that
the
one sink
first
in.
mask. Yeah, it's probably the first mask. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what I don't think we need to add a mask. I think it's the first because it's like only you know it, and especially if you are like me who uh pretty much seals off their online presence from everybody they know, mostly them. I mean, my friends know that like I like certain games, I play certain games, and I'm in like certain communities, and I watch certain. They know, but that's like like the global, like the kind of like overall big view of the thing. They don't know what I do there. They don't know what I say. They don't know any. It's all the like the fine details. That are obfuscated. I mean, it's not even on purpose. That's what I do. I just like do that. But it's like, yeah, I think it's the first mask. Digital, the digital avatar is the first mask.
Yeah. So the digital age allows us to um, get in tune with your first mask even more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's also in line with the I've mentioned it before. Hiroyuki, the creator of Nichanaru. I consider Hiroyuki pretty much the father of modern internet social existence, the modern social internet. I think consider him the father of it, of that entire idea. When he made Nichanaru at the time, I'm not even sure now, but at the time, was the largest forum on the planet, largest forum on Japan and on the planet because they had millions of views daily. I'm talking from from like 1998 until 2010 or whatever. I'm not sure. Maybe, well, it started in 1998, 1999, something like that. It was the largest, one of the largest websites, whatever. And the entire idea of the thing was that it was anonymous. The whole concept of anonymous was invented by Hiroyuki, and it was invented because of the what we're just saying now, the masks in Japanese society. So he was saying if you're right there without a name, then the person who says it doesn't matter. Then it just the opinion matters. And that's that. I first time I heard that was like in 2000 2001, and I've agreed about on that ever since. That's why I'm a big proponent of being anonymous online, detached from your own life, detached from your own personality and your own everything, and being just an anonymous floating entity on the internet. I am a big proponent of that because we saw what it did for the Japanese internet with Nichannel and that kind of stuff. And it promotes more discourse. It promotes ideas being spread, that kind of stuff. But I'm pretty sure that that's why the digital avatar is the first mask. Yeah, because Hiroyuki said that stuff, and that's how I feel as well.
Dear listener, let us know if you agree or don't. Do we wear the first mask online or the fourth mask? Let us know in the comments below. And a friendly reminder to support us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.
Thank you.